Well, hey everyone, welcome back. This is Neighborly Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Tim. Thank you for stopping by. If you've been around a little while, we appreciate you stopping by as well. As you can see behind me here, I've done a little bit of cutting. I have not gotten any of that on camera. Seems like every time I wanted to come out here to do it, the wind was pretty bad and I knew the audio was going to be terrible. So I've just had a few days or little time slots where I could get some cutting in during maple season here. I've had a couple days where things either weren't running. Like right now you can see we got a little bit of snow on the ground. It got down to about 22 degrees last night. It's supposed to be like in the 40s today. Should get the sap moving again. But in the meantime, I got the itch to get something else done. So I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be going for syrup. We've got probably another week or two that we could go. But mentally, I am ready to move on to something else for the year. As much as I love maple syrup and maple season, it's been a long couple months with building the new arch and all that stuff. So kind of ate up a bunch of my time. But I'm going to flip the camera around here and show you what I did. So as you saw in the opening clip, got about 6 rows stacked up. Some of them are probably right about a face cord per row. Some are probably a little over. I'm not sure exactly how long some of those are. Some of those are probably closer to 2 face cords, or at least 1.5. But anyways, my past cutting experience, or what I would do, is I would take the tractor and I'd come in here and I'd grab a couple logs, and then I'd go all the way up there where we do our splitting, and I'd cut those 2 logs, and then I'd come back down and get a couple more, cut those, and I'd have to move the rounds. Anyways, I was never really a big fan on cutting in a log pile. It can be dangerous. You get these ones up here like that can fall down on you. You just got to be careful. But after watching Russ and Gramp, the way they do stuff on Willey's Firewood, if you haven't checked them out, go do it. Gramps is a machine, and Russ, he's no slouch either. So they move a ton of wood, but they just cut right here in the pile, and then another person goes and stacks the rounds right behind them. And I thought, you know, I don't know why I never thought of that or never did that. So that's what I've been doing here. And Russ, I got to say, it works. You know, I wouldn't prefer to split all my wood down here, but it doesn't matter. I can split it down here and it'll be fine. So I'm going to go get the saw gassed up and get it down here. And we'll get set up and see how much of this we can get through. I don't have a lot of time right now to do this. I just wanted to get some more cutting done a little bit here and there adds up. As you can see, I've probably only been out here maybe 4 or 5 times, and I'm talking like a half an hour at a whack. So I've gotten quite a bit done. Now I don't have any help to stack. I'm just cutting, stacking, cutting, stacking. But it goes pretty quick. So like I said, I'm gonna go grab the saw and I'll get you guys set up here and we'll do a little cutting. So the saw of choice today, we're using the Echo CS7310P, the 24-inch bar and a skip tooth chain. I absolutely love this saw. All I've ever had was, I started out on home light saws. Growing up at home, that's what my dad had. They cut a lot of wood. And then I got into some Stihl saws, and that's what I've had ever since. This thing came up at an auction at a decent price, brand new in the box, and I figured what the heck, I'd give it a try. So I'm certainly glad I did. But what I'm going to do, you see I got some rounds right here stacked up. These are cherry. Not too many right there at the moment, but what I'm going to do, because there's some cherry logs here on the top, cherry on top, I'm just going to cut on them, and as I get the rounds, I'm just going to stack them off to the side, probably both sides or one side, I'm not sure yet, but I want to keep that stuff separate. Everything else in this pile is soft maple and ash, so, but we're gonna get this all warmed up and get to cutting. Oh, it smells good. Just want to show you guys something here. That's an ash log. I'm just surprised at the growth rings on that tree. I don't know how good the camera is showing that, but that tree grew pretty fast. That's incredible. You don't usually see them that far apart. At least I don't. Maybe I never paid attention to it before. Pretty cool. I guess just for comparison, try to look at this cherry. I guess some of those are kind of far apart. It's really hard to see those. Let's look at another ash log I've got over here. It's hard to tell. These ones here look a lot closer together. I just thought that was interesting. So the pile is dwindling. The cherry stack's getting taller. I'm not really going to go any higher with that one. I would like to get that stuff moved and stacked up on my pallets way up there where the rest of my cherry is, so I can get it all split at the same time. Going to be some nice bundle grade wood out of this. Some of that soft maple's kind of gnarly. But we're gaining on it. Most of what's left here is cherry. There's a soft maple there, there's an ash there, there's an ash right there. Pretty much almost through all the mixed hardwoods, but we'll keep cutting a bit more. Try to at least get through this tank of fuel on the saw. That Echo's got a big tank though. Sometimes you get wore out before the thing's even empty. So, but we're doing good. Well, what do you guys think? Put a dent in the pile. I know you couldn't hear it, but right at the end there, I could tell that the saw was running low on bar oil. So I ended up stacking a whole row of cherry here. I got a partial row. I got a partial row of hardwood, mixed hardwood there, maple and ash. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of mixed hardwood, a row of cherry, plus another row of cherry over there. And I've only got There's one tiny little stick of maple right there, plus the runners on the bottom. That's an ash log, and that one down there is a maple. All the rest is cherry. So I think probably one more tank and I'd have this pile done. And that makes me feel pretty good, guys, with what I got done. Like I said, just taking a little break from maple season, waiting for the weather to shape up and keep going. So hopefully stuff thaws out today. We can get our sap pumped and try to boil later on. But for right now, we got some wood cut. I can't wait to get the splitter out and get going. But that'll be soon enough. We got to get maple season taken care of and get everything cleaned up before I start into that. So, but I appreciate you guys watching. That's going to do it for now. And we will catch you guys on the next one. See ya. Well, I went and grabbed the 360, filled it up with fuel, and that's how close I got on my one more tank estimate to getting the whole pile cut up. If I'd have filled the Echo up, I probably would have had it. I think that's got just a little bigger tank. So I just have those two runners to cut. I finished nipping that log off. But there's what we got. There's 2.5 stacks of cherry, plus the stack of cherry that's right there. I'll climb up on the pile here so you guys can get an overhead shot. Quite a bit of wood there.